dust off, and we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Rock and roll.
It's a pleasure being back in Castro Valley, California. This is a place where I've had quite a few really cool rock and roll experiences, mainly starting in 1976 when the Hayward Area Recreation and Park District hired me as the MC to host shows at not only Weeks Park Community Center in Hayward, but also their rec center here in Castro Valley, the Castro Valley Community Theater. And in 1976, I had to introduce Eddie Money. This is before he got signed to Bill Graham Management. He still, hadn't been major yet, but he had those songs and he had that style, had that saxophone. And so he was doing songs like Everybody Rock and Roll the Place and so on. So now they send me to go find Eddie. And so Eddie is in the kitchen of the Castro Valley Community Center. And he's psyching himself up and he goes, "So what are you gonna say about me?" And I'm like, and I had to think of something. Oh, great. Yeah, put me on the spot. I went, here it is. "Ladies and gentlemen, here's the man with the $sign in his eyes. Please give a big, warm Castro Valley welcome, Mr. Eddie Money." And then they break into it. Bam. I'm like, whew. He goes, "Oh, that'll work. I like that." Yeah. So that was my Castro Valley beginnings.
And that's the second Castro Valley Theater, right? Because there was an older one slightly up the hill.
Same one.
Same one?
Same.
It's been there since the 50s.
Well, there's a newer one there somewhere.
No, they had a thing up at top. They just tore it down. Right above it, there was a big house and everything. They tore it all down.
Well, 5 years later, in 1981, my return to Castro Valley is now as a live performer myself with my band Champion. And I had two hotshot guitar players that I discovered, Dave Canoose on rhythm, Jim Howard on lead, my brother Mark Weaver on the drums, and Glenn Horton on bass. And so it's for the Fall Festival, this event that we got asked to play the Fall Festival. And it was, I think it was the Great Western Bank, and it was on the backside where the parking lot is.
Yes.
And they had a railing, and they had enough of a space where you could put a band behind that railing. And so, we're doing a lot of the songs of the day. We're doing a lot of our originals, but we're also doing two Journey songs that nobody else was playing because I had the cats that could pull off the Neil Schon. And so we were doing Look Into the Future and Of a Lifetime, two just huge Neil songs. So our guitar player, Jim, is now sitting on the railing. And now you got to realize this stage is about 6 feet off the ground. And so being on that railing is another 3 feet. He's got his back to the audience. He's got his flying V going, and he's got his eyes closed, and he's just fully into the end solo of Look Into the Future when all of a sudden he loses it and falls backwards into the bushes. Do you know that Jim kept playing all the way to the very end? And all the band had to be poker face about it, like, oh my God. And there he is in the bushes, upside down, still playing. And the crowd is going berserk in the parking lot.
I'll bet.
One of the craziest things. Yep. So the Fall Festival, as it turns out, was something that you were involved in, Jim.
Yeah, I started to book the bands and the entertainment. I was doing it with Mel Speed, one of my closest and dear friends, and then I think he left, and I had been doing it, so that I started contacting all the bands, and now we only have like one stage down at the end by Safeway, and then we have another one over here by the Creamery for the community stage. But so many good bands, so much good entertainment in the area. The Bay Area has always been just a great hub of entertainment. Very underrated. I think some of the best stuff was from here in the 60s, and LA was trying to copy it. Because I went down to LA and it was like they were walking the streets like hippies, but we were the ones that started the counterculture music revolution up here.
Exactly.
And so it was, what can I say, man? The Bay Area is, and if you look early on, you'll see that, some great people in the music business were living here nobody knew, like Earl Father Hines lived in Oakland. People don't know that.
And Roger Collins.
And Roger Collins.
He's still a friend of mine, lives in Berkeley. I talk to, he's on my, I still talk to him.
Yeah. I bought She's Looking Good, the 45 single, in the spring of 1967.
Not many of those
At
around.
13. I still have it, and I still DJ with it.
Let's got this phone over here.
Hold on.